1, 2, 1, 2. Welcome to episode 1, Learning from Those Who Lead. This is Life is a Mess Cast. So first of all, I want to give a big thanks to God allowing us here again for this opportunity. Every day is not promised, so we got to make the most of each day that we have with us. So we want to start with the title, right? So Learning from Those Who Lead is the title of this episode 1. To begin, I want to give a special shout out to Carlos and his organization, and my coach who I reached out to. Had a very good time reaching out to them and having that one-on-one conversation with them, right? So I have my coach here, Jeandy, with me.
Thank you for having me, bro.
Yeah. So thank you for being here. I know you're busy, you have your own things to do, right? And I want to thank you for being here, actually taking the time to record with me. And I know we're gonna have a good episode today. We're gonna give some insight, give some words to the people. So just want to make sure that we're here, we're working on our mission to help others. Leaders creating leaders, and we're here to fulfill our mission. So beginning with the title, Learning from Those Who Lead. I gave a brief introduction in the last episode. If you guys haven't checked it out, make sure you guys do. I gave a brief introduction as to how I came in contact with Jeandy. So just before we begin, I want to just give a brief little summary of that, right? So in life I felt like I was a little lost and just wanted to find that sort of direction, and I came across Jeandy and his content that he was doing with Carlos on the CMR podcast network, and I felt obliged almost, like something just drew me to him, and just wanted to reach out and let him know just how much his content impacted me. So, you just shot him a quick message over Instagram. We connected, had a good conversation, and ultimately, he gave me the opportunity to connect with him and really opened my eyes to seeing that that life really can be different, and that it's never too late to change the way that things are in your current life, right? Because in our brief conversation, I was able to see that, I really wasn't living my purpose. I wasn't really living up to my potential, and I had a lot more room to grow and actually change my life for the better. So with that, I want to introduce Jeandy. So just tell him a little bit more about, I guess, a bit more of a conversation and what you saw from me in that brief conversation.
From you, I seen, first of all, when I see people I like to lead. I always feel as if we all think for ourselves. God created us in our image to create. And I seen when we talked on the phone, you right away, you knew what you wanted, you knew what you like to do, which is your passion, which is graphic design. But I seen from the short time that we talked and we connected and built rapport that you weren't maximizing your potential. You still have 3 jobs, I believe.
Yeah.
And it's like working on a job, you're only gonna make a living. You're gonna make sufficient enough to get by. And if I'm now on a mission as a leader to create more leaders, because I've always been helping people. Right. But I was tapped to the limit that I was helping people. If I had a job and let's say I was making more than my family members, I say, hey, bro, come work with me. Right. But now as a leader creating leaders, I don't want no followers. Tell you, don't follow me, just go the way that I'm going. Or do what has worked for me, but in your own unique way. Because your transformation is going to be priceless.
Right.
But you got to put in the work.
Right.
Consistency wins. It's not about what you did yesterday. It's about what you're doing right now and what you're doing moving forward.
Right. And from that, I learned a lot specifically, right? Because you really opened my eyes to seeing that things really can be different, right? Because my whole life, growing up with my parents and the way that they saw things, we've always been in that mindset where, if you want to be successful, you want to achieve what you want to achieve, get a job, stay in school. And that's always been like the norm, I guess, the norm of my situation, and that's really been the norm for most people currently today. Most of them are in that mindset where just follow the same plan that everybody has. Get that job, stay in school, and you really open my eyes. And being around you guys just really opened my eyes to more possibilities. So speak a little bit more about that as to like how is it that people can stray away from the norm?
from the norm? Simple. If you do what everybody else is doing, you're gonna get the same results. So ask yourself, who is doing what I want to do? Who is on the path that I want to go? As a leader creating leaders, a leader is measured by, from my eyes, how he uplifts others. Check the leader circle, and that's how you're gonna measure the leader. Because what's the point of the leader doing good and the rest of the team still down, struggling? So as a leader creating more leaders, I want you to pass it forward, everything that you learn, everything that we're going through. Obviously, from the episode, that's why I told you watch both of the episodes that we did yesterday. Commit first and figure things out later. Once you're fully committed, you're going to get more clarity in all aspects.
Right. Right. And then, going back to the title, learning from those who lead, seeing how you changed from the person, you were to the person you are now, that really inspired me because, I saw your leadership skills in that second, right? Because I saw that you had that ability and also the willingness to actually help others, right? Because there's a lot of people, who if they're successful in their own right, they might hold back a little bit on the information that actually is helping them because they don't want competition. They don't want others to be at their same level or possibly even overtake them, right? So, I really respect that from you and from Carlos, right? Because you guys are really willing to share your knowledge and, those little secrets that help change people's mindset because, there's not a lot of people that do that, right? And do that so willingly and so abundantly, So I think it's really something special that you guys are doing. And, you guys really opened my eyes to that situation. One of the things that we discussed was getting myself in check and really getting my priorities straight, right? So, obviously it's not a secret. Right? I'm not in the best of shape, right? We started when we first spoke, right? We said, your fitness is gonna be the main priority, right? Because without you being fit and being in shape, it's not really gonna allow you to have that mental space and allow you to actually really focus on that, right? So that really opened my eyes because I never really been to the gym before. So I never been to the gym. I've worked at a gym before, but I never really saw myself on the other end of that place, where I actually be the one participating, actually working out. And, that first time I went to the gym really opened my eyes because I saw just how, inexperienced I was. And, like I shared with you at the gym, the reason I never went is because I felt, out of place. I really felt like it never was my place. But you really showed me that, this is a place for everybody. It's a place that, you don't gotta be that person that's already fit to be in the gym.
Think of it like this, bro. What did we do to be alive?
Right.
It was just gifted to us. But just how you created this opportunity, create better opportunities for yourself. And it's okay. It's not gonna happen in one day, but treat every day like day one. Life is a Mess Cast. Amazing name because we all go through mess, but that's our message. But it's time to, like you said in the first episode, the first step to fixing the problem is recognizing the problem and then focusing on the solution so you could clean up that mess.
Right.
And everything starts with the 5 pillars, getting your shit together all around the 5 pillars. Physically, health is the ultimate wealth, but everything starts with the connection with God. But it's how it says in the Bible that our bodies are temple. So we have to take care of ourselves. Believe it or not, when a person is physically fit, it makes it easier in all other aspects to adapt, to shut up and listen and to pick up those habits. Because when you're in the gym, that's deep work. Working on your physical pillar. But then you got to get a spiritual win. First, you got to get a spiritual win. Then a physical win. Then a mental win. And the emotions is working throughout all those. And then we all have a purpose. We're here to serve. I'm not a businessman. I am the businessman. And I want you to say it. And I'm giving you credit on live on this podcast. We the business. You played a big role in making this happen, as well as Carlos. But we all contributed because that's a mastermind group. We all brought something to the table.
Right. Yeah. And bringing that up, I really thank you because like I said, you guys really opened my eyes to actually pursuing my passion, right? Because we spoke about it, that first time we met, because you really sat me down and said, okay, what is your passion? And I told you my passion, but you also told me, like, okay, you have the 3 jobs, but of those 3 jobs, like how are you really making sure that you're aligning yourself with your vision, your own self, your mission, right? And that really opened my eyes because, and I'm working all these jobs and I'm working all these hours, but in reality, I'm not really investing that time into myself. You know, just shifting some of that time into actually investing to myself. You know, you made me see the potential and like, oh, you know, if I actually commit myself to bettering myself and actually working on my actual goals and passion in life. You know, there's so much potential there, right? And that really opened my eyes. Um, so I guess what I want to go to, right, is going back to the gym, right? So a lot of people they feel like I felt, right, out of place and not really like they have that starting point. What would you say to those people who don't feel like um, they don't know how to approach the and why it's so important to begin there?
There was a picture. I knew I should have screenshotted it. Something in my gut told me for you. It was a picture, basically like a plug in a guy's back, and then he connected it to the wall. It's like, how much motivation do you need? We don't need no motivation. We just need discipline. Just go and do it. That's why day one, turn that one day into day one. If you keep saying tomorrow, tomorrow, I used to struggle with procrastination, but that's okay. But now it's about fixing it. You can't just stay stuck in that mess forever, unless your life is gonna be a mess. You gotta do something about it. If you don't do it, nobody's gonna do it for you. If you didn't hit me up and created that opportunity or created that interaction, it goes both. It's a two-way street. But how I always say, a relationship with God is a two-way street. You got to meet him in the middle. You got to put in the work. Dreams don't work unless you work. So just do it. Just take action.
Right. You know, and speaking of that, right, again, you know, I was in that mindset, and you know, I never really thought it was something that I would be doing was even possible, right? But taking that time with you and you really talking to me, you know, I saw that it was possible, right? I had that space in the gym. I had that the not only the potential, but also you know, just actually committing myself, right? Because you gave me that plan, you know, just go there every day. I go every day. You know, I've been consistent in that, and you know, I really want to thank you for that. Cause I've seen a difference too, right? Cause before, cause you told me like commit to the first thing in the morning, you know, and I see myself having more energy. I've seen myself having more of that willingness to actually get up and do things. Cause before, you know, I just go straight from getting those 3 or 2 hours of sleep and just going straight to work. And at work, you know, I wasn't really performing my best, you know. And now I feel like I'm more awake, more aware of what's going on, and like, you know, that really helped me with that positive change in my mindset, right? So now going back to the title, right? I mean, the name of the podcast, Life is a Mess. I just want to briefly touch on what I guess you would consider your mess, right? So 'cause I know you made that transformation, but what really was like, what was that thing that was really that like darkness in your life, or something that you feel was holding you back from seeing your potential?
Simple. Elevation requires separation. That's right. You'll never be free until you become a business owner. And just seeing Carlos living testimonial, and now I'm living proof. And that's why I brought this out, which I will touch up on after. A coach, you're gonna be living proof but you have to commit. So it's as if I seen him. Mentioned on previous podcasts, just hearing his story, the little that I heard, and he said, I never smoked, I never drink. And I'm like, there's no such thing as somebody being better than you. I don't see nobody as competition. I posted a video on TikTok. The only competition you have is the person you see in the mirror. Forget about everybody else, because if you look it's like the gym. If you look to the right, there's somebody probably bigger than you doing better than you. If you look to the left, there's somebody worse than you. So in life, you just got to focus on yourself and be laser focused on yourself. So I feel as if once you get exposed to more, like you say you could relate to the podcast, this and that. So just being around people that were doing better than me. That's why what's the point of being number one? What's the point of being the best player on the soccer field playing with middle schoolers and you're a high schooler? You got to play with people above your league, people that are doing better than you. That's gonna force you to level up. And the reason I grabbed this right here, a coach, one who inspires dreams and motivates you to achieve them, a person who builds your character and potential through belief and encouragement, and someone who touches your life forever. The reason I pulled this out is because I see that in you. If you commit yourself to 3 months working hard on yourself, no days off, you will tap that. I wouldn't say you're there right now, but I know you could get there. But you have to put in the work. Right. And it's like when I tell people messages, I don't do it to destroy. I do it to uplift. I tell it because I love you. I love people. I genuinely love people. Without people, the world would be boring. Right. Imagine if it was just you alone in the world. Your life would be a mess. But we have each other. So we got to embrace that and enjoy the world. Not compete with others. Let's collaborate. Let's turn those dreams into reality. So we're here for leaders creating leaders. As a coach, I want to inspire your dreams and motivate you to achieve them and help you achieve them.
Right. But I guess sort of getting back to that, right? So what was that changing point in your life where that you felt like, you know, it's time for a change, or it's time for me to like stop what I'm doing and actually like do something about this?
Okay, I ain't give you the correct answer that I should have. Basically, I looked at myself in the mirror. Like Esteban, shout out to Esteban, another brother, leader creating leaders. He compared me to Jeremiah the prophet, because he says I always cry a lot. Because when I do stuff, I do it from the heart. So I looked at myself in the mirror and I told myself, yo, you're not shit. You got to change your life. Your life is a mess. I literally just criticized myself. It may hurt in the moment, but that's, believe it or not, that's that pain. You're no pain, no gain. You got to put yourself through pain. And I've learned an attitude of gratitude. I learned to count my blessings, not my problems. But at the same time, you got to be hard on yourself. Like, if you're not hard on yourself, life is going to be hard on you. So you got to pick your poison. So when I decided to be hard on myself, look at myself in the mirror like a man and tell myself, you got to do this, you got to do that. You can't be doing this, you have to do that. And that's when your life changes. That's when your life changes, when you admit that you're the problem.
Right. So, yeah, like I said, you know, I took that time, you know, before I reached out to you, right? Like I said in that episode, right, you know, number one step in you know, solving a problem is identifying that there isn't, right? Because I feel like a lot of us just go through life seeing, you know, these symptoms of the actual problem and not actually, like, fixing the issue, right? Because we'll put Band-Aids on the little problems, but we'll never actually fix the issue, like stop the actual bleeding, right? Because I feel like a lot of us get blinded by just the repetitiveness that is, like, life, right? So, you know you have to go to work, you know how to do this, but doing something different where you say, okay, if I'm going to work to maybe, you know, just cover my bills, right? See the issue with the bills, right? Maybe you're spending too much on things that you really don't need, or maybe you're not really being conscious or mindful of, like, you know, what you're doing with your time or your resources. So to me, right, it's very important that you take that time to maybe stop and just take that time to analyze and actually see how your life is, right? Are the actions that you're doing and what you're actually doing right now aligned with what your passions are, what your mission in life is, right? And if you don't know your mission, that's fine, right? But take that time to also see, you know, what is it that makes you happy the most in life, right? You know, whether that's family, you know, if you do feel like you need that career job, then ask yourself, you know, what am I actually doing to get that dream job? Or if you want to become independent, you know, what can I do to become, you know, my own person, my own boss, my own business person, and actually own a business rather than just being that employee, you know. So just like I said, it's very important for you to take that time, just take a moment to stop, right? Because, you know, things are always going to happen. Life's always going to happen, and time isn't going to stop for you. You have to stop time yourself. You have to tell time to stop, and actually, because if you don't, you know, life's just going to keep going and just push you around. So you have to take that time to just stop, analyze, and identify that problem in your life, whether, you know, it's habits that, you know, you're not proud of, or a certain action that, you know, you could be taking differently. So it's just very important for that, right? And if you don't have that guidance in your life, right, it's important for you to reach out to people, you know, look to people who you may be inspired by or you may admire, and see what they're doing, see what actions they're taking in life. And, you know, it's ask questions, you know, there's always people out there who are willing to share their secrets, you know, here, like Jeandy was willing to share some secrets with me.
There's no secret. There's no secret. What's the name of this episode again?
Learning from those who lead, right?
Learning from those who lead.
Yeah.
Simple. Just, it's crazy. Carlos always says this office is a growth environment.
Right.
So when you step in here, if you just look around, he who works all day has no time to make money. There's a verse in Corinthians that these people, religious people, they may say it's based on this and that. But I do not fight like a boxer beating the air. I do not run like a runner running aimlessly. I strike a blow to my body and make it my slave. So when I have preached to others, I myself will not be disqualified for the prize. The prize being people want dream car, the dream home. But everything starts with the dream business. We all have a purpose. How are we serving to the world? What are we doing with the time, the talents, the gifts that God gave us? So when you step in here and you really look around, you'll be like, yo, damn, what am I doing wrong? The 12 laws of riches. Everybody want to work. Certain things you want to work from the top to bottom. But money comes last in the list. You got to start with your attitude. Health is the ultimate wealth. Harmony in human relations. 80% of our success comes from how well we deal with others. Freedom from fear. The Bible says, do not be afraid 365 times. It's not no coincidence. The hope for future achievement. You got to believe. That hurt me, bro, low key, bro. That hurt me, low key. I won't say on the podcast when you said you ain't see the value, but I didn't get offended, but it was like a little poke in a way. Right. It was like strike me a little bit.
Yeah, and the reason I say that is it's not that I didn't see the value, but I didn't make it a priority as I should have, right? Because, at that time, when I had that conversation with Carlos, like, he told me, like, what do you mean? Like, it's like, if you're not working, you're not committing yourself, then, like, what are we doing here? Right? Like, you have to make this a priority. If it is not a priority, then, like, what are you actually doing here? And that made me, take that step back because, that really meant to me, I really wasn't seeing the value in this. That's why I said it that way. Because if I'm actually seeing the value, then this is number one priority.
No, I respect it too, because I value the truth. Yeah. So I value people's opinions. Well, some, you know what I mean? Like, some people, like, if we're business partners or we're in this together, we have a dream, we have a vision aligned, then your perspective, your opinion is also valuable. Because without a team, we need each other. So if you don't speak up, you don't say this and that, it's going to affect everything, Yeah.
And just me, I'm just starting on my journey. So I know I'm always not going to be 100% on everything, right? And that's why it's important for people to have a coach, like you and like Carlos and, the other people in the organization, right? It's important for each of us to have that person that, if we're doing something wrong, we might have good intentions, but we're not always going to have the right actions, right? So we may think we're doing the right thing, but we need that person, if we're not doing it, just to tell us, hey, you have this mission in life, right? This thing that you're fulfilling, right? So are you actually aligned with that? And if you are, then make that your priority and commit to that. And that's what I needed yesterday, right? Because yesterday, even though I told myself this is my priority and my commitment, I really wasn't. Because at that time, I wasn't. I felt and I knew, like, obviously if I'm not making this a priority, then clearly I'm not seeing the value in this, right? So
dreams don't work unless you work.
Yeah, I had to take that time and just actually see, okay, so if I'm actually going to do this, then let's make this a priority. All right? So now you as my coach, right, like I said, I'm not always going to be 100%. Is there anything that you seeing that I'm doing right or wrong in that situation?
Simple. He who works all day has no time to make money. Look how you just brought value just with that. We the business. Right. On a scale of 1 through 10, what was that excitement, that feel inside of you, that desire when you was making that design right there?
It really did excite me because now, before I used to just do work just for like the hobby or just like just to fulfill my sort of little passion there. But now actually, seeing my work, seeing it, being used, displayed, now it actually fulfills me because now it sees like, oh, this really is a reality, and it's possible now, right? Because, it's not that often that I get to see my work actually being used and applied out there, right? Because most of the time it's just dreams. You're like, oh, I wish I could see my work there, or, I wish I could get this company to work with me, right? Because it's not always something that happens, but when it does happen, it excites me for more possibilities, and I'm always looking to get my work more out there and actually help people get their vision and help them see themselves the way that they actually want to be seen. Right.
So you said as a coach, what I see you doing right and wrong type of thing? See, I've always been a person that I like to give advice, but now I learn only show the horse where the water's at if he's willing to go, if he asks. So you ask me, I feel as if you're still not all in.
Right.
Like me, myself, when I left my job, that's when I fully committed. And I always said to myself, I'm gonna give this my all. And when you say that to yourself daily, and you work on whether it's graphic designing, life is a mess, helping people accomplish their dreams, believe it or not, in this journey of mine, I'm still learning. And I'm pretty sure once you start balling and be all in, you're gonna figure things out for yourself. Like I gave you like 3-4 days without contacting you. So I wanted to see what you would do. I like putting people through tests, or I like throwing people on the street. Just letting them go and then see where they mess up and then bringing them awareness. Because if I'm just on you 24/7, how can I help? I first got to give you the information, let you apply it, and then we meet back up. So simple. You gotta be. Now do you feel like you're committed?
Yeah, like I said, after yesterday, because like I said, yesterday I had that wake up call, because like I had that situation, right? Like if you really say you're committed to this, right? Let's make this a priority, right? And like that's when I had that realization, like I have to make this my priority, right? And I felt like it wasn't there at that point.
So now it's about being consistent,
right?
And then being disciplined. To be consistent with your dreams, with graphic designing, creating value, whether it's through that or speaking in front of a camera, or helping people as a leader, creating more leaders. But you still have to develop your leadership skills. You still have to get more clarity, because clarity is power. How can you show others the way if you're still going the way? You can help them now to where you're at, but it'll be better once you get up to a floor to bring them up to that floor, as if you're in the staircase still climbing to a certain floor.
Right. So I guess from there, let's pivot to yesterday. I touched on some things, but it was my first time out here, doing it solo. So I feel like I was a bit, all over the place, and so I just wanted to focus more on certain points, right? So going back to that place on you starting on your journey, right? How do you feel you were able to sort of eliminate that like darkness, right? Because you said I know you said you had like a couple of things that were holding you back, like certain vices and things. So how do you feel like you were able to pull yourself out? Because there's a lot of people dealing with those same situations, who they may feel like it's not possible for them to leave that.
What is darkness?
So I know you said you indulge in like some things for pleasure, like the drinking and some of the I don't know exactly what you were doing.
Other activities,
Other activities, right? So how do you feel you were able to step away from that?
Like I said, it's just when you look at yourself in the mirror and say, "He who works all day has no time to make money." How is this affecting me? Is this adding to my life, or is it hurting me? You got to figure out the difference between assets or liabilities. You got to figure out the pros and cons, the positive and the negatives. What's the way that you should be going? What steps are you taking that's moving you forward? And what steps are you taking that are moving you back? And just focus on the steps that are moving you forward.
Okay. All right. And I appreciate that, because there's a lot of people who sometimes they're not willing to accept that these things are actually like have a grip on their life, right? They say like, oh, like I could stop anytime, or I'm just doing this. Like I have complete control over this, right? Do you feel like you had control at that time, when you were in that space, or do you feel like that it had a grip on you?
It's crazy because I was talking to somebody yesterday, and shout out to Carlos, CMR Podcast Network, why you should commit first and figure things out later. I asked him a question: what are 2 steps that come before and 2 steps that come after commitment? So the first 2 he said was awareness. That's why I said look at yourself in the mirror, be aware of what's the problem, and then make a decision. It says it takes 21 days to make or break a habit. I feel as if it takes 1 day.
1 day.
It takes 1 minute. It takes a second. It's a decision. But how bad do you want? How bad do you want to improve? How bad do you want to get rid of that, or how bad do you want to get there? Because then it is awareness, decision, commitment, consistency, and then discipline.
Right. And now, going back to the title, right? So learning from those who lead. Where do you see yourself as a leader? Like, where do you see yourself what areas do you think you've helped people achieve, right? Because I know you're a big proponent of like the fitness thing, but where else do you see yourself helping others through your leadership
I feel like it's in mindset,
mindset?
but it's not just simply getting the mindset.
All right.
What's the point of being a fish in the wrong pond, a big fish in the wrong pond? What's the point of being a shark swimming with fishes? You got to get out and get uncomfortable, whether it's leaving that job, whether it's just taking action on the plan. If I give you a map, I'm Dora, you're Diego, Boots, whatever, and I give you a map, you gotta use that map, open it up, and take massive action on the plan. Because what's the point of me giving you a map and you opening the cabinet and you just throw it in there? If you don't apply the knowledge, the wisdom that you're getting, wisdom is applied knowledge. Knowledge is potential power. Execution is the real power. So just giving people a map, some taking action on it, what's the point of those that don't? But I don't blame them. It's my fault. Maybe there's something they don't see in me.
Right.
But it's okay.
Right. And do you feel like you as a leader have been, doing that your goal as in making sure that everyone's like on the right steps and on the right process? Like, do you feel, is there any gaps in that in your leadership?
I feel as if, yes, because there's always room for me to improve. I will always ask myself, how can I be better? And then how can I serve? How can I help the next person get up to another level? That's why I prosper heights. How can I help you prosper to another height? How can I help turn that one day into day one? Not simply for me, but for others. The secret to living is giving.
Right.
There's always room for improvement, bro.
Right. And it's important for us to see that too, right? Because a lot of us feel like we're we're in that space where there's not really a lot of room, right? And one thing you taught me, right, is that if we want to commit ourselves, we have to make that time, because I told you a lot of times, I don't really see the time for myself, or I don't really see that time for me. So you showed me, like, if you're really gonna do this, right, you have to make that time, because you're gonna keep working the 3 jobs and you're gonna work on this, right? You got to make that time to do this, right? And that was for me why it was so important. The gym, you really opened my eyes to that aspect, right? And now I told you that's had what I feel is a good positive impact on me. So what do you say to those people who say, I can't really do this, or I don't have
if you say I can't, you're right. If you say I can, you're also right. Words have power. Now I got a question for you. Comment down below if I'm wrong with this analogy. Let's say you got a girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
She cooks for you, she cleans for you, she takes care of you, this and that, but she's a vice. She just brings you straight negativity, she brings you down, but she's giving you the benefit, you're getting benefits, but she's harming you. Would you stay with her? With the girlfriend? She's giving you coon and all that.
Yeah.
Getting play and all that. Will you stay with the shorty?
Yeah. Well, I mean, say from now, my change perspective, I'd say no.
No?
Right, yeah.
So now we'll compare that to a job. A job is giving you little, sufficient enough to get by, but it's harming you because it's stopping you from reaching it's stopping you from maximizing your potential.
Right.
Maybe I'm wrong with that analogy, but let me know down below. I just created that up.
Yeah. Yeah.
It may seem good, but when you really sit down on the paper, how we did, 168 hours, and you're devoting that, how much time are you devoting to yourself? Is that stopping you from getting to where you want to go? You got to cut it off. You got to cut off the leashes, bro.
Right. Yeah, like I said, so for me, right, it's very, one thing with my passion, graphic design, right, it's also very important for me to, help people execute on their vision, right? So what do you think your visions are for people, and how important is it for people to actually be aligned for their visions, actually make their visions a reality in your life?
I feel as if my vision for people is their vision, because everybody's different. Like for you, the podcast is good as well, but graphic designing, that's what you love to do. But also, you have a voice where you could speak your testimonial. Communication is the 3rd highest form of value creation. God gave us the gift to talk. Why not talk? Why not speak that mess that you went through and deliver that message? All those tests that God put you through, give your testimonial to the world. You don't know who could resonate with you. Maybe if somebody doesn't, the message doesn't get across to me, it could get across to you. It doesn't get across to you, it could get across to them, through her, through him. But also doing what you love. Because when you do what you love, it doesn't matter what comes with it. But at the end of the day, if you keep watering that plant, it's going to reap a reward that you'll benefit from. Not in one day, not in one day, but let water that plant every day, day one. Turning that one day into day one. That's the message. Most people procrastinate. Instead of saying, I'm going to start today, they're afraid to take risks. They're afraid to go all in.
Right, right, and I feel like it's very important for you guys, right? So, if you do feel like you're not achieving what you want to achieve in life, or you feel like you're stuck in that repetitive cycle, right? Take that time to stop, analyze, and actually, like I said, just take the time, analyze, and just see what is it that I want to be doing in life, and what is it that I want to be changing, and if my current actions and my current time, are they actually aligned with that vision and that time, right? And find that inspiration, right? If you feel you're not connecting with the content that you're seeing online, right? If you feel like the what you're consuming isn't really aligned with what you're saying, what you want to be committed to, take that time to take that initiative and actually change what you're surrounded by. So, find that inspiration wherever you may see it, right? So whether it's people who are already doing what you want to be doing, or people who may not even be doing what you want to do but already successful, take the cues from them, see what attributes they have, see what traits they have that actually have made them a success or allow them to be where they want, and just see how you could either apply some of that, or just simply ask questions, because the curious mind is always going to win, right? Because being curious and being willing to change things is always going to help you for the better than just being that person that's very static, very the same actions every day, right? Because the expected, it becomes boring, right? It's time for you to do something different and actually be that person that can be dynamic and change day to day and leave what you know and start doing things that you don't know, right? Because through those uncomforts and being leaving your comfort zone is actually gonna help you grow. And because one thing that comfort brings is complacency, and I feel like complacency is death of creativity and death of the soul to me. Because complacency, there's a lot of people who become complacent to certain actions or certain things in their life. They become comfortable. They're like, oh, I'm making enough to live, survive, pay my things, but they're never seeking that next step. So what do you say to people like that are just being very like complacent in life?
Simple. Do a live interacting coaching with you. What is it that you want out of life? What are your dreams, your aspirations, your goals?
So for like I said, for me, just pursuing graphic design, and like I was telling Carlos, my thing isn't really just graphic design, right? Because when I created my company, I didn't really like the term CEO. I see myself as creative director, right? Because I'm the director of my life that's taking those creative actions and actually allowing myself to become, right? Because graphic design is just one aspect of myself. Graphic design is just allowing me to take my visions, my thoughts, and actually turn them into an action, a thing, whether that be a logo representation, a visual representation. I feel like that's just one aspect of it, right? But me, I'm creative director, meaning I'm the one creating and directing what I need to be doing and creating in life, right?
But also creating content. Now we have
Right.
Life is a Mess. We got to be consistent. Weekly, 1 hour, religiously. And look how I asked you, what is it that you want? You stated your dream business. You didn't talk about the rewards. You talked about where you have to start. Because chase the vision and everything will follow. So you already know, you said the project that you have to work on. So what is it? Just taking it a step by step. You may not see the whole staircase, but just take that first step. And slowly, the steps will reveal itself so you could get up the staircase. So walk by faith, not by sight.
Right. And I feel like that's this very important thing that you said, right? So just allowing yourself to believe yourself, right? Because it's one thing to speak and say things, but if you're not, actually committing yourself to those actions, then, they're just words, right? Words are meaningful, but if they're not, there's no action applied to those words, and they're just words at the end of the day, right? So it's time for you to, actually take action on those words and implement them, because, those actions are going to be the true reflector of how your life is. And I feel like that's a good place for us to sort of leave it there, because there's a lot of information out there, and we don't want to overwhelm people either, right? I feel like it's easier to drink out of a water fountain than a fire hydrant, right? Because if you just shoot information everywhere, then people are not really gonna absorb that information, right? So, is there anything else you would like to add?
Simple. The 5 pillars. The 5 pillars changed my life. Hopefully, it changed yours, but you have to put in the work. Spiritually, good connection with God, devotional time to the Creator, the Lord Almighty. Mental, the more you learn, the more you earn. The golden hour, I told you about the golden hour. Cash flow quadrant. We have it here, cash flow quadrant. As an employee, you have a job. Self-employed, you still have a job. It's the same thing. Time equals money. Is time money for you? Time is money?
Yeah. Like I said, my current action, right, of course, right? Like I said, you told me a lot of times, if you're going to be committed, right, you have to, slowly, like, get rid of those jobs for me, right? So right now, currently, right, unfortunately, my time really is money, right? Because I'm still being, I'm exchanging my time for money, right? And I feel like, as I grow in this, and I fully allow myself to commit to it, I'm gonna allow myself to actually grow in that aspect, and actually use not let my time be used, and actually use it.
Do you know how to ride a bike?
No.
You never learn how to ride a bike?
No.
Says a lot, bro. How you learn how to ride a bike? You just get on the bike. You could be afraid of falling off, but till you don't get on the bike and just go forward with the 2 wheels, you'll never learn. You said your dream business, graphic design. So now you got to switch to the right side of the quadrant. Is that where you want to be? Where with money you can make more money, or with money you can buy people's time?
Right. No, yeah.
As a business owner, you own a system and process that works for you. And as an investor, with money you can make more money. You're an investor now. But until you don't put in the work, you're not going to... How can you believe in someone else if you don't believe in yourself? That's why you have to believe. You have to believe. I believe in myself. I don't think that I will ever believe in myself how I should believe in myself. But that's another obstacle that I'm still encountering, but I'm human.
Right.
Everybody's problems is different, but it's all about what you do, the solution. So simple, the 5 pillars that I was saying, the golden hour, physical, health is the ultimate wealth. Emotional, estamos en crecimiento, no en sentimiento. If I tell you the truth, you could go into your feelings, but I wouldn't like to, I tell you things because I want what's best for you. For real, from the bottom of my heart. A person that loves you will tell you the truth. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. What you need to hear is going to help you grow. Right. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Jesus Christ is the truth. That's why spiritual, we're going to be like that with God. And then financial. Que no sirve para servir, no sirve para vivir. If you know how you want to serve in the world, why not do it? Why go to a job that you're going to be miserable for 8, 9, 10 hours till, I got to come out. Then it's going to drain your energy. Why not put all your energy, your attention, your time into your dream business, how you want to serve into the world? So as a message, what's the name of the episode again?
Learning from those who lead.
Learning from those who lead. What has helped me is just go all in. Say, this is going to work. It has to work. I'm willing to do whatever, however, whenever to make it work. Carlos literally called me 2 hours before, hey, you didn't do an episode with Edgar. Pull up. I didn't say no excuses. In life, we have results or reasons. Which one do you prefer to have?
The results, right? Because you give a million reasons to not do something, right? But
so simple. We gave them enough cheese. I'm willing to give you guys the whole block of cheese, but I learned through my experiences, he who pays attention. There's no such thing as something for nothing, but scratch that. People don't value free things. Look how you said you had access to a gym for free because you worked in a gym, but you ain't work out because you didn't see the value.
Right.
But that's okay. That's the past. We can't change the past. We can only change the future. But that starts with what we do today. So turn that one day into day one. You could close it how you want to close it off, man.
Yeah. Right. So, I want to thank you guys for taking the time to be here, right? you know, because there's a lot of other things to consume, right? But you're taking that time to actually commit yourself, watch something that, you know, we're doing this to have that impact on people, right? And you know, it may not reach the millions of people that are out there, right? But if it helps impact one person, it helps you at least change one thing in your life, right? Then I know it's worth it, right? It's something that actually makes it worth it. And you know, I want to thank you guys for being here. You know, there's a lot of things. You know, I'm still growing as a person, right? You know, compare myself to like, that first episode. You know, I was a little bit nervous because I was outside of my comfort zone. You know, I've always been that person that's working behind the scenes, even in my three jobs, right? You know, I'm working, you know, maintenance, I'm working retail. In my position, you know, I've always been that person working in the background rather than being that person out in front, right? So you know, as time grows, you know, I'm gonna become more comfortable on camera, become more comfortable actually speaking and getting my message across. So, you know, I thank you guys for being here on this journey with me. You know, I'm gonna keep growing. I'm gonna keep exploring things that I haven't really done before, and I know I'm gonna grow as a person, right? And the same thing happened with you. Same thing happened with you. So I want you guys, you know, start exploring that area outside of your comfort zone. Don't accept being, you know, in that comfort zone. And again, like I said, complacency is gonna be the death of your soul and the death of a lot of things. So just don't be complacent. Start learning and start doing things that you may not feel too comfortable in the moment, right? But as you do it more, you're gonna see that oh this is actually something I could really do, right? So I want to leave you guys there. Thanks for watching. This life is a mess, because life is a mess, and your mess is your message, and you're the messenger, right? If you know something in life isn't right, share that message with others, right? Because a lot of people are going through the same situation you may be going through, and helping other people relate to that mess and your message, you're gonna help see that they're not alone in this life, and they're not the only ones going through this, right? So and if you're not proud of your message, right, say your message out loud, right? If you know that you have vices, if you're working 3 jobs or maybe even more, right? Because then people that are working even more jobs out
Funny,
there,
yo.
right? If you're not proud of that, if you're not proud of what that says about you, then do something about it, right? Because at the end of the day, the way you currently are is being reflected, but you could always change that reflection of yourself. So I want to leave you guys there.
And also,
And
before, I didn't mean to cut you
yeah,
off, but I can't wait. I can't wait, bro. I can't wait for you to maximize your potential to improve on another level. We're going to switch that up. You're going to be able to look back 30 days and I was saying life is a mess. Now I cleaned up that mess. Because winners never quit and quitters never win. That's all I had to say. I wanted to say that. Because you said life is a mess. I can't wait to, you say I picked up that mess. Right. And now look at me, living my life.
Right. So I want to thank you guys, thank Jeandy, thank Carlos, and the team. That it takes a team to do this, right? And I learned that if like it says that if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together, right? That
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Teamwork makes the dream work. So thank you guys, and catch you on the next episode. All right.